Well, welcome back to the Be Unexpected podcast with Wyatt and Jake. And today we have with us Tristan Alvano. Tristan, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing good. We're going to dive a little bit into Tristan's story. Tristan is currently a senior at Omaha Westside, and he had quite a football career, but this last year with setting records with 45-yard field goals, 50-yard field goals, and just a lot of accomplishments this year for Omaha Westside for Class A football, and they end up beating Gretna in the state final. And Tristan, you got any special memories from that game other than obviously the game winner?
Obviously, just really embracing the moment and creating a lot of memories that'll stick with myself and the team for a whole life. I think that bond that I have with my team is all my guys is really special and something that won't be beat. And then obviously, I think I have a special bond with my snapper and holder.
Yeah.
Two of my best friends right there, and I've worked with them for a few years now, and a lot these past few years. And my long snapper actually ended up just getting an offer yesterday, PWO to Nebraska, so that's huge. And then my holder and punter, Marty, is going to end up going to he's getting a scholarship to punt at Kearney, so that's huge. So I'm excited for both of them. They both get to continue their college career along with me, and that's it's awesome to see that happen. I know how hard they've worked.
Awesome. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I know there's more than just your kicking career, so we want to tell us a little bit about where you grew up and just what kind of stirred your passion for football. And was that your first passion?
So I'm from Omaha. Been here my whole life. Played baseball, basketball, and soccer growing up. Soccer was really kind of my thing. Was expecting to do that and play in college my whole life. But then freshman year, my parents kind of wanted me to try football and just see what happens. And so I started kicking, and just like every soccer player, it comes to us kind of a little easier than those who obviously don't really know the motion. And I had a little success, and then got hurt a little bit, so that kind of sent me back. But then junior year, I really kind of had a breakout year, I guess, and had a good year and was first team All-State. And obviously, we had a heartbreaking loss in the state final. And I at that point, I still really didn't know what I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to. I kind of still wanted to play soccer, and I just did not know what I wanted to do. And then I went to some camps in the off season, some Colts kicking camps, got a high rank, got some recognition, and just kind of took off from there and got some attention from some schools, and that really kind of opened my eyes and said, okay, well, I might have a future in this. So I did that, and then just kind of fell in love with the whole off season grind and the job of kicking, and just stuck with it since.
Wait, so you said you never kicked until you were a freshman. What was it like, your first high school football game? You were never a kicker, you just played soccer. And you remember your first high school field goal you made?
I do, yeah. On varsity, as a junior, yeah, definitely my first field goal against our rival Creighton Prep. That's a pretty big game to have one in, and the first field goal went out there. I probably was a little nervous. I'll admit it. I was a little nervous, but I remember it, and I ended up having two more that night against Prep, and that was just really special. Kind of all the nerves went away, and I just said, all right, well, I can do this. This is fine, and I just kind of fell in love with the feeling. There's as a soccer player, there's a feeling you get as a goal scorer and scoring a goal, and it's kind of a rush you get, and then just kicking field goals and making them in games, I get that same kind of rush. So that's kind of really what made me kind of fall in love with it.
I know
go ahead, Jake.
No, I'm just saying kicking field goals. We want to dive into that. So the only experience I got is kicking it in Madden and trying to adjust with the wind. So just, and I've dinked around with football, but when is the point where you just kind of like step over your fear and you just start cranking him in? I don't know. Explain the mindset of a kicker, when you're taking your steps back or how that works.
Yeah, I mean, so like in game and stuff, like, coach will say, Coach Lamanji this year was just like, all right, kick it. And so, the field goal unit want to run out there. We find find out where the ball is, and we go 7.5 yards back to our spot, and then gotta see if there's any wind or anything. So looking around, feeling it, looking at the flag poles or the flags on top of the uprights, and I mean, obviously I've kicked in pregame, so I kind of know what it is. But going out there, just looking again, and then picking out what I'm going to aim at. So like if it's a thing on the scoreboard, a flag, if it's Memorial Stadium, maybe a fan or something, something like that.
Yeah.
Some sort of target. Aim at that, and I take my steps back, and then I'm just kind of talking to myself, just all positive thoughts, and then I just focus in, and then give my holder the nod, and then we go.
Oh,
Nice. So, you guys won state obviously this year. You got runner-up your junior year. But what about this team your senior year was just different from all your past teams from freshman year to junior year? Like, that drive, you guys got second, so was there that drive like, oh, we got to win it this year because we got runner-up last year?
Yeah, I mean, well, as a sophomore, we won state too, and I mean, that was a great feeling.
Oh, nice.
But I came back halfway through the season. Obviously, I was only a sophomore, so it just doesn't – it's obviously an unreal feeling. It just doesn't feel quite the same as it does your senior year, your last ever high school football game. And especially as a kicker going out in that fashion, that style, like that's something special. But so I think the senior year meant just a little bit more just because I had a bigger role and it's just more special your senior year, yeah, just unreal feeling just to know that you won seniors, class of 2023 for Westside. We won our last ever high school football game, and not a lot of people can say that. And I think we're very, very fortunate. And yeah, it's just an unreal feeling. I don't know if it's still fully sunken in yet.
Yeah,
that's one heck of a program. You get to play in the state championship for 3 out of your 4 years. I mean, that's great players and great coaching right there. Yeah. Who you probably like all your coaches, but is there a coach you really had a special relationship with on the team throughout your high school career?
Oh, yeah. I definitely love them all, but I think Coach Moravec is my relationship with him is something special. I mean, I've worked with him for all 4 years. He's our sports psychologist and kicking coach, so he really works with us. I mean, not a lot of high school kickers, I feel like, can say they have a sports psychologist to work with them, so he's really helped me grow with my mental game and mental toughness, which is obviously huge because it's a big mental battle as a kicker, I think. You may miss a kick every once in a while, but just knowing how to bounce back is huge. And so he works with us and specifically the whole team. I mean, we have a Wizard Wednesday. We call him the Wizard. That's his nickname because I don't know. You would understand if you met him, but he's just I don't know, the Wizard. We give him pre-practice on Wednesday, and he goes through a little team talk with us, and it's each week's kind of a different mental skill to crack down on and work on, and so yeah, we learn a lot throughout the course of the season. It's almost like an incentive, keep winning, and you learn more mental skills. So he's awesome, and I think we're very lucky to have him at Westside. And just the relationship I've had with him is really special because he always believed that I could get a scholarship for kicking. He was always telling me as a freshman or sophomore, like, yeah, Tristan, like I want you to get scholarship in soccer and football, and like I want you and your family is like head to hurt because you have so many options and you don't know what to do. And I just kind of laughed at him like, yeah, okay, coach. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get a scholarship in football, but you keep saying that because, I wanted to play soccer and I just never thought like that would happen for football. And then I just keep keep getting better in football and fall in love with it. And then he ended up being right. I never thought he would be against all odds, but he was right, and I'm so happy he's a part of my life for sure.
Yeah, kept on grinding, kept on going, and now look what you're going to be going off to Nebraska. And now, you know what I always find it really cool and just intriguing is, and I never really got to experience, was the recruiting process. You want to dive into that a little bit? I know I was looking on the Nebraska site. You said it said Air Force, Army, Boston College, North Dakota State were interested in offering you. But when did Nebraska or maybe even other bigger schools come into the picture? Was Mickey Joseph hitting you up, Scott Frost? What was that like?
Yeah, my process was really, really stressful. I think the process as a kicker is already stressful enough just because it's really hard to get a scholarship at a high school. I mean, there's not a lot of scholarship kickers at a high school. It's a lot of preferred walk-ons. That goes for kickers, punters, and long snappers, I think. Especially, and now with the transfer portal being in play, I mean, there's a big argument like, oh, well, why would I take a high school kid with no experience in the college game when I could take a transfer from another Division I or other division school? You know, I mean, that's kind of the mindset of some of these coordinators at the Power 5 level, and so it makes those high school kickers who are trying to get recruited, it makes their job hard because, you know, not every school is interested in them. So it was tough. I mean, I had a pretty busy spring last year of going around, traveling to a lot of great places, like, you know, going to visit Alabama and seeing a practice there, or Florida spring game, you know, going down to Mississippi State or Iowa or Minnesota, you know, great places like that. Nebraska was really never, you know, that was when Frost was there. Nebraska was never really talking to me, and they weren't really an option for me because, you know, I had zero contact with them, let alone me being an in-state kid. And so I just I never expected myself to go to Nebraska or end up there because I had zero contact with them. Then when Mickey got named interim head coach, he started to pick up contact there with me, and we talked. He gave me a preferred walk-on the day of the Minnesota game, and then that was my first visit down there. So it was pretty late in my process. I mean, that was November, probably late October, early November.
Yeah.
So it's pretty late in my process if you're thinking about, you know, I'm committed almost a month and a half later. It's pretty late. And then, so yeah, I have that relationship. And then the day after the state championship game, you know, he said, yeah, I've always wanted to see you kick in person. And obviously last night I got to see that, and you had a heck of a game, and that just shows you can kick under pressure. So we don't want you leaving the state. And so he offered me a full scholarship. And then obviously the new staff came along. Didn't really know where I stood with them, but they called me almost right away, just a couple of days after they got named, and I got to speak with Coach Foley and Coach Rule, and they both said that, you know, my scholarship stands, and they want me here, and so they got me down there for a couple of visits, and I feel like I have a great relationship with them, and that's my home now.
Nice.
What do you think of Coach Rule right away when you met him? Like, were you kind of nervous about meeting him because it was a whole new coach, and you had never met him, and he didn't recruit you right away?
Yeah, I mean, over the phone for sure. I probably was a little nervous talking to him just because, I mean, I don't really know what he's like. I mean, this is our first time talking to each other, so I just kind of wanted to see what it's like. But he was great, really genuine, and I could just tell, like, himself and the rest of the staff I talked to, like Coach Foley and Keith Williams, one of the player personnel people, they were all just really nice people, and they really cared about Nebraska, and there was new energy down there, and I loved it. And and then obviously in person, it was easy. Already talking to them over the phone, just knowing like they're good people, nothing to be nervous about, and it just felt really, really natural, and which is awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. What's Coach Foley like? I've only seen one audio clip of him, because I think it was the interim Temple coach, and it's been kind of funny out there. He is like going, I don't know if we'll win, but I know we'll play hard, or something like that. So does he have the energy kind of guy that just kind of hypes you up, and is just?
I think he kind of has a hidden energy that, you know, no one's really seen yet. obviously we'll see it when in practice and everything. I think he'll be a
Yeah.
really fired up guy, which just excites me, and I'm ready to go for that. But I think he's calm when it comes to off the field stuff, but then on the field,
Right.
I think he gets fired up, and obviously that'll I'll get the guys going. So I'm excited for that for sure.
So, is there any kicker in the NFL or college football when you were playing high school football you kind of watched throughout the years and tried to mimic your game after, or do you just kind of like have your own strategy?
Honestly, I'll love watching any guys, whether in college or NFL. I just will love watching kickers, but I guess I really like, obviously, Evan McPherson's kind of made a name for himself now, and so I just really like supporting him just because it's hard for, I feel like, those younger guys in the NFL to kind of maintain a job. I mean, unless you've been there for years and years, you miss a few kicks and you're out of a job. So I think really supporting him and making sure he gets to his second or third contract is really important. And so I'm always pulling for him, and along with any kicker. I never wish bad on any of them because I wouldn't want anyone else to do that for me. So yeah.
In the midst of all this, have you been able to, with all the the camps and whatnot, has any like bigger name kicker or like professional athlete or coach reached out to you, or just has it been cool meeting other athletes throughout the camps and stuff?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously I've made a lot of, I guess, kicker friends around the country. Seeing them at Cole's camps, and then going to this school's camp the next week, and then seeing other guys I know. I'm texting some of them still. Some of them graduating early, so I'm talking to them about like what it's like for them down there right now as a early enrollee. I think that's cool. And then obviously going to visits and everything, and meeting specialists, like meeting some specialists at Oklahoma when I was down there, or I think it was cool, hearing what Will Reichert had to say down in Alabama when I was down there. Definitely cool to kind of see, because they were going through the process just a few years ago, and to give advice to me while I'm going through it means a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's got to be cool going on those. It just probably hits you like, this is real, man. Like looking at when you went to Bama, Florida, Mississippi State, Iowa, Nebraska. Like this could be an option. I have been given the abilities. This could be me. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So back to like the state championship game. I just want to read off like your stats. You hit it from 44. You hit one from 50. Like that's impressive. Like
I can't even do that.
Anything over 40, anything in the 40s, I think is long for high school. Then 26, 42, and then you hit the 45-yarder to win it. And the announcer said you were had the best game or best career of any high school kicker in the state playoffs. Going into that game, did you have the attitude of you just had that feeling you were going to have a big game? Or were you kind of man, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to ride this wave, man, and see what happens if I can go 5 for 5. So.
I think here at Westside, we really, I think our team culture, and I guess, just team emphasis is really just being prepared and just knowing that when there's pressure on the line, or, that's high stakes, you don't, we kind of quote the Navy SEALs and, say when there's pressure, you either, sink to the level you're training, or you just don't do well. So I know there's a really specific quote. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I say it all the time, but I just
understand.
can't remember at this moment. Coach Queen, our defensive coordinator, always said that. It's blanking right now.
Sorry.
But I don't know. We just really preach getting prepared, and so I felt like I was really mentally prepared before the game. Didn't really go through a new or special routine. I think I was just really locked in the moment and just ready to go. And then I think the just getting all those attempts in game, not a lot of kickers get to have 5 field goals in a game. So knowing I got to do that, I think that just filled myself and the field goal unit with confidence that, by I got to the time where it was the third or fourth or fifth attempt in the game, like we knew we had it. So it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was an exciting game. I remember watching it. It was like, wow, this game is pretty great for a fan. I mean, back and forth.
I mean, I might be a little biased, but I probably think it's the best high school football game the state's ever seen. So
I'll be honest. I stopped watching because you guys were up. You guys were up big, right?
We got up 17, and
I was like,
I think in the second quarter we got up 17, and then they scored. They scored a touchdown or two and made it a 10 or 3-point game, one of the two. But yeah, I mean, then obviously they took the lead late in the fourth, which was I don't think a lot of people expected, considering we were up 17, like you said. So yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
because the year before, I think it was all defense, wasn't it?
7-3.
Yeah. So
wow.
Definitely two different games, but yeah, your game was probably the more exciting, and you guys came out on the winning side. So that's a great way to end your high school career.
Mm-hmm. So Tristan, you've shared a lot about your story and different things, but is there one specific thing that you faced in life or in football or in general that you're just like, wow, this stinks, but you found a way to overcome it? You saw this opportunity to grow and just to grow who you are. Is there anything that comes to your mind?
I'd probably say when freshman year, when I tore my ACL and went through that rehab. I mean, there's a lot more, I guess, tragic events that could happen to affect me. But I mean, that was definitely hard, not being away from sports I love and all my teammates for several months. I mean, that it sucked, but taught me a lot. I think just a lot of kind of mental lessons and kind of it really taught me the lesson that, not to take anything for granted, because it can kind of go away, in the blink of an eye, really. So just really make the most of everything and embrace it all, because you never know when it'll go away. So just it really taught me that, and just kind of working hard, and I feel like it's taught me lessons that I'm taking in my work ethic this day, which is huge for me. So I'm almost happy and grateful that it happened. Obviously the rehab sucked, but going forward for the future and mentally, it was great for me, I think.
Yeah, it's, as both Wyatt and I know, with injuries like that, when that happens, in the moment, was say 2 or 3 weeks after, it's like, okay, I'm here. I got a long ways to go. So it's hard to stay in the grind daily, but obviously you made a great comeback and you busted your butt to get where you're at. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Being a D1 athlete, so when do you have to report to camp and everything from Nebraska?
I think it's sometime early June. I'm not too sure on that yet, but I'm just ready to get down there. I think I think it'll be probably early June, but I'm just excited to get down there and start practicing. That'll be great.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a amazing feeling, and you just want to get the ball rolling. So that's awesome. So Tristan, as we kind of close up here, so what are you up to now? You said before you're in track, just doing other stuff just to stay fresh with kicking stuff, or what's that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously in Nebraska, it's high school soccer season coming up here, and from March to May. And I obviously did that last year and wanted to do it this year, but just felt like it wasn't maybe the best thing for me with risk of injury and kind of how hard high school soccer is on your body, especially for my position. I just felt like don't risk anything and go into the summer as healthy and sharp as possible. So I'm running track. I think it'll help me it'll help my legs become more explosive and stronger, and just make me all around better athlete, obviously faster too. And then just and I'm able to work on kicking everything and go in as good as I can. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Tristan. And if you're listening now, look forward to watching Tristan to be the future kicker of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.